My name is Abby Davis, and I am presenting an evaluation of Flex, The Art and Science of Leadership in a Changing World by Jeffrey Hull. The objectives of this presentation are to go over Dr. Hull's qualities of leadership and flexible leadership, moving into the fierce leadership model, followed by the importance of body language as it pertains to leadership, diving into the wisdoms I encountered while reading the book, as well as my evaluations and scores for various components of the book, and I will end up with the closeout and takeaways. So, Hull is a leadership coach, and in the book he shares many of his stories and experiences with the individuals he coached. They come from all different industries, and they have various types of leadership situations and dynamics that may differ from traditional leadership qualities and stereotypes. In addition, he does note many of the challenges these individuals faced, which makes it even more so relatable for the readers. Two themes that continue to be carried throughout the book include taking time for yourself to understand who you are, how you work with others, and how you communicate with others, as well as being able to adapt to certain situations, environments, and individuals as well. Overall, flexibility in a world that is constantly evolving is beneficial for leaders as they continue to grow and move and operate in different situations. So Hull's Fierce Leadership Model, Fierce is actually an acronym for the 6 domains of leadership which Hull deems important. They further break down into 3 categories, including mental, emotional, and somatic. So beginning with the mental block, we have flexibility and intentionality. So here, this is essentially evaluating, is the leader able to adjust concentration and understand who they are speaking with, as well as how they are speaking to them. The emotional block includes emotional intelligence and realness. Hull indicates that emotions can be difficult to handle in certain situations, so understanding what those triggers are, how you work with them, and how you adapt and react when those situations arise is important. And moving into somatic, so the domains under here include collaboration and engagement. So somatic tendencies can include nonverbal body language, including gestures, facial expressions, even the tone of voice. We will talk more about body language in the next slide, but overall, this model generally provides to individuals a resource where they can look at the competencies or the domains and determine perhaps where their strengths are and where opportunities for growth lie. And by doing that, they are able to determine the appropriate skills and methods to maintain and build a proficient level of understanding certain domains. So Hull notes for body language that is how people perceive and judge you prior to any form of verbal communication. In fact, people do process facial expressions in 100 milliseconds per Trician's, Lord, and Hall in their article Facing Leaders, Facial Expressions and Leadership Perceptions, published in the Leadership Quarterly Journal in 2017. And going one step further, individuals are able to observe who the leaders are in a group versus non-leaders based on active body movement and engagement with the team. So this was conducted and reported in an article titled In the Eye of the Beholder, an eye-tracking experiment on emergent leadership in team interactions by Gerpo, Lehman Willenbrock, Silvis, and Vugt in the Leadership Quarterly Journal published in 2018. Overall, with all of these concepts in mind, it's important that the leader understand that they are representing how they want their organization and the tone of the environment to be. So typically people will follow, so it's important to lead by example here. A few of the wisdoms I encountered throughout the reading include, although that we can perform multiple physical actions and movements in a given moment, we can only take in one memory, so multitasking may not be as efficient as we once thought. Past experience encounters can potentially explain present dislikes. So for individuals who may have had a bad situation in the past, this can carry over, and if they observe similarities, this could cause a negative experience for them. And so this is just kind of some insight to if you've ever had a relationship or interaction where maybe it just wasn't working out and you weren't quite sure why. Perhaps there's something similar in the situation or environment that's bringing them back to a time that's not great. And remember remember to accept and forgive yourself for mistakes, and then continue to learn from them. That's how we grow, and that's how leaders can grow as well. So for my evaluations and scores, for intellectual value, I gave this a 4. Dr. Hull has 20 years of experience with leadership coaching, as he notes, and in various industries, so wide variety of information there. For scientific rigor, I gave that a 3. There's a lot of qualitative data and studies noted, however, not as much quantitative data to measure these amounts. And then for leadership value, I gave this a 4. There are many, again, coaching stories that are relatable, as well as the challenges faced, and a few self-assessments and advice throughout the book that provides readers of all types with feedback that is beneficial and could work for them. And lastly, for readability, I gave this a 4 as well. The book is generally straightforward, although there are a bunch of stories going on. Hull does a nice job pulling everything together and connecting the dots to keep the flow going. And in conclusion, so take time for yourself to understand who you are. Not only is this beneficial for you, but it also provides you with the opportunity to benefit and strengthen your relationships within your social network, complete self-assessments, and understand maybe where there are some opportunities to continue to grow. And although Hull does note that it is hard sometimes, asking for feedback and mentorship when you need it is just a few of the ways that you can continue to grow and develop your leadership capabilities. So thank you so much for watching my presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know.